It's November. Wow. That seems really crazy. Okay, two things. One, we just got back from Disneyland 2 days ago. So my voice is still recovering and I'm still recovering. It was a wonderful time. We spent 4 days, 4.5 days in the parks. It was crazy cool. Second thing, I'm coming off of a wicked book slump, like reading slump hardcore. I haven't read a book for like 20 some odd days, probably since the beginning of October. And I just couldn't care less about it. I was really just so much like, I don't want to read. I'm not going to force myself to read. I'm going to take a break. So for November's TBR, we are going to hit the TBR jar. I think I'm only going to pick 5 books for November. I am knee deep in school and it is kicking my butt. I'm working 9-hour days, going to school. I have Bible study stuff that I am committed to do. And so 5 books feels reasonable. 5 books feels gentle. So I'll probably just pick 5 books and yeah, we'll see what happens from there. So without further ado, I will preface this by saying I'm going to pick 5 prompts, but I'm going to give myself the freedom to put 2 back and draw again if I don't like them. I am working on getting myself out of the slump. I don't want to get back in one. Not worth it. Oh, okay. A book with a male main character. So, for male main character, I'm going to add Expeditionary Force Aftermath. It's book 16 in the X-Force series. I'm so close to being done with that series. I'm so close. So I've talked about this a whole bunch on my channel. Basically, this is the continuation of the space opera. The main male character is Joe Bishop. He has a sidekick who I can't really tell you much about it or else it's going to give it away. But the point is, it's a fantastic series. It's super hilarious. The last book left me feeling very sad. So I'm hopeful for this next book. Okay, Aftermath. Prompt 2. This one feels good. Oh, this one is a person or people on the cover. Okay, I'm doing it. I'm starting this journey because I'm feeling called towards it. I'm feeling compelled to read it. We're going to Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I know nothing about this series except that it follows a female assassin. And that I've heard that people like this more than the ACOTAR series. So, I don't know. I just know it's going to be a big commitment because I'm sure that with all Sarah J. Maas writing, I get one book in and then I'm like, well, I can't stop now. So, Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas is going to be our second book on the TBR. Prompt number 3. This would have been perfect. It says, just do it. A book that you've eyed but shied from. Okay. This one I haven't necessarily shied from on purpose, but I've been putting it off because I I felt I was approaching a slump, and if I had started this book, I wouldn't have finished it. So, Apprentice to the Villain. This is book 2 in Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole. I think it's Mayer. This follows Evie, who becomes the assistant to the villain of this land, and some things happen, some more things happen, and the sequel is Apprentice to the Villain. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna love it. I just know it. So that's our third book. Prompt number 4. Oh, again? A book club pick. I'm gonna put this one back. I'm gonna draw again. I don't know that there's any of the book clubs that I'm a part of that there's no book that I'm like, I really want to read that. If this is it again, then I have to do it. Oh, a romance. Okay. Romances have been really hard for me to choose lately. Okay, so this one I saw on my shelf and I immediately was like, I want to read that. It's The Au Pair Affair by Tessa Bailey. This, I believe it's in Fangirl Down. You get introduced to these two characters, and I fell in love with their introduction, and I couldn't wait to kind of figure out who they were. So this was on my list of things to read in October potentially, and I didn't get to it. So we are adding it to our November TBR. Last prompt. Prompt 5. Make it a good one. Oh, these have been good prompts. A book that brings me joy. Well, let me go look. Oops, I put that back. We are going to find out if this book actually brings me joy, but the edition that I have, I really like. And completing this book will, I believe, complete my 24 and 24 TBR, which would bring me immense amounts of joy. So that is Curious Tides by Pascal Lascelles. If I'm saying that wrong, I'm really sorry. This edition is super beautiful, obviously, because the sticker says it's a Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. So I believe I have this on Audible. There's I'm not really sure what this picture means, but there's a picture in the front. And yeah, it's a really beautiful edition. So this and Aftermath, actually, are both on my, I think they're the last 2 books on my 24 and 24. So that brings me tons of joy. Let's recap very quickly. This is going to be a very quick TBR. For a main male character, we're going to do Expeditionary Force book 16, which is Aftermath, which checks that off of my 24 and 24. For a book with a person or people on the cover, we are doing Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, because I have been eyeing this book for the last week, and I really just want to read it. So there's a little person right there on the cover. For a book that you've eyed but shied from, just do it. Apprentice to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer. This is the second book. For a romance, we have The Au Pair Affair by Tessa Bailey. I'm really excited. This might be the first book I jump into. And last but certainly not least, a book that brings me joy is going to hopefully be Curious Tides by Pascal Lascelles. Please help me pronounce that name. Yeah. So these are the books. These are the books for, well, and one more right here. These are the books for my November TBR. Simple, just 5 books. I'll get a couple of days off over Thanksgiving, but I typically do a large family meal, so it's doubtful that I will have a lot of reading time outside of my AirPods and stuff. So better late than never with my TBR video. But what are you reading this month? Let me know down below. And if you are interested or have read any of these books, also let me know down below. Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down, just kind of as a baseline what your thought was. So I hope you guys have the best one. I'm happy to be jumping back in here. I feel super rusty and out of practice, but I have to get ready to go to work. So I will see you guys on the next one.